Today, the 75-gallon planted tank is going to be getting more plants to try to fill in the empty space and hopefully bring some more greenery into the tank. It does have quite a lot of greenery currently. I just want there to be more because we are putting a specific fish in here, and I don't really know if everybody knows what one I'm getting. I'm going to obviously keep that a secret. I have an idea, and I need 3 29-gallon fish tanks for it. And it's a lot of work. We have 2 brand new ones in the garage, and then we do have one that's being leak tested right outside the the barn. But my plan is for this, we have a ton of wood. We've got wood here, wood here, wood here. And then I'm pretty sure I had more wood. Oh yeah, and then we've got wood obviously on the cutter, on this rack. There's wood everywhere. But I'm doing a triple rack of 29s, and I can't wait to show you why. The Planted 75 just got a nice new water change, and the reflection is crazy because of the door that's open behind me. But if I stand in the way, you can kind of see there is a lot of greenery happening in this tank, and it looks great. My favorite part is definitely right here with the trunk that comes down, and then the roots that obviously have died later. And then I like how it just grows on it. It looks really, really nice. And then down here we have more. We got Java moss that's coming back ever so slightly. It's a little bit green. This Java moss is also starting to come back, and unfortunately Java moss will just die and come back and then kind of get used to the tank, you know, temp, parameters, everything else. But and then you've got like the little random ones that are kind of like here, over here, and then we have some on here, and then a bunch in that corner. I don't really know how that got there, but we just have a bunch of plants here that are kind of just settling in and growing and adapting, which is completely fine. But to add onto our 75 hype train, now I rarely use the top fin like pre-planted stuff that comes in the packets. Some people might hate me for this, but I honestly don't care. They look great, and these do well in my water. I've bought maybe a couple of these for the inside tank. Nothing in the fish room has these plants in, but I've noticed when I buy like Java fern like this, and then this Bokapa, I think it's what it's called, this stuff grows fantastic in my water. So this is why I bought another set of these guys, because they grow fantastic, they grow tall, and they grow like crazy. That's pretty much it. We're going to set the camera up, we're going to point the camera at the tank, and we're just going to stick some plants in there, and hopefully they overgrow and they kind of go crazy. I really hope it looks good, and I'm sure it will. Like I said before when I spoke about the 75-gallon tank that is going to be fully planted, I have never done it. I'm new to it, and we're just going to show the internet that you don't have to be a genius and know everything about this hobby to have a gorgeous planted tank that has driftwood and slate and just these beautiful live plants. So while we're in here messing around with everything, I do want to relocate some stuff. I want to replant things because you can kind of see over here and over here we have a lot of plants that are floating. And the reason why they're floating is because I did have some goldfish in here a while ago. They were kind of going crazy. They were ripping everything up. So we're going to go ahead and get all of this situated first, and then we can work on planting the new plants that we have on the desk over there. Look at how green and beautiful all of that looks. Now that is in fact 2 packets of what we ordered, and it just looks so great. Like the roots look fine. The roots look very healthy, to be honest, and then just the colors of it look great. Now my plan is of this, these do grow very high, and I kind of want these maybe on the left hand side over here just to kind of cover up this corner, because it does look very empty back there, and they can go back there and hide and feel covered. The corner is definitely the place where I'm going to be selecting my placement for them, and then I do want to put some maybe around on this corner too, because like I said, they grow tall, and this is, I would say it's maybe more of like a background plant more than a foreground plant. I can see quite good here. Now these plants have just been resting on the top, and I don't know if you can tell, but that right there is all growth. That's all brand new growth, and it's growing, and it's not even planted in the ground. So that makes me think a little bit better about the, you know, the state of the tank as far as everything went. Like everything just wasn't doing well. It just kept dying. I'm not a professional aquascaper. I would like to say this is like, you know, this is aquascape. Some people might say it's not. It's just a tank of a bunch of live plants. Yeah, you know, you're probably right. But I guess I gotta give credit where it's due. You know, I'm not very good at doing this kind of thing. I guess as you can see, it's not planting. Why won't you plant? Don't terrorize the hard work that I've put into this tank. This stuff actually came from a branch out of the angelfish tank. Anything that we see floating, we kind of like to take off and, you know, put in this tank to see if it grows back. Like, that looks pretty dead. Roots are kind of brown. This looks great. It's nice and green. It's just trying to find a place to put it. That's the thing, because it doesn't have like a root system, you see. It's just here. So I might have to try and just kind of jam it like in a rock or something like that, you know. And then over time it should grow and then kind of just latch around whatever it can possibly find. This though, I'm not too sure what this is, but that's definitely a plant. More of the same plant right here. Some of it's dead, some of it's alive. There's some green on that, but I don't think that is going to sprout anything new. And I look at these two because this right here has like a bulb on it, and it has roots coming out of the bulb. So I will grab that, and because this is doing so well outside of soil or dirt, sand, whatever you want to do, I will just place this one kind of like how you would a nubus with not putting it actually inside the dirt itself. You kind of just trap it somewhere so the roots don't get smothered by, you know, the sand. This is a Java fern that looks to be doing okay, to be honest. I'm pretty sure you can plant Java fern, so that's going straight in the ground. And some people might get mad that I'm planting this like on its side. I like it when plants are offset and different and growing in, you know, a completely different, you know, angle compared to everything else. To me it looks better. I'm weird. I'm not saying you should do it, but as you can see, this one has a lot of green, but that's going to die soon. This has an active bulb on it, so I'll try and find a place to jam this one. And you can see there's like new growth right on this Java fern, so that will be going back into the tank, probably right next to its sister or brother. Place that right there. It's so hard to get these guys planted. I would definitely always recommend not pulling your leaves off like I'm doing. I would definitely say cut them at an angle. Never cut them straight, cut them at an angle. That I do know from having a garden back in my time. And I just threw it on the ground and probably killed it. This is all root system right here, so that's perfect. That would definitely get put in the tank. Okay, let's actually get planting wherever I put them. I put them over here. Okay, just gonna throw them in there, let them drift around so I can see what kind of selection I'm working with here. Yeah, look at that one. That one right there is perfect. The roots on it are crazy. We're gonna try. I literally want to try and cover up as much of this back portion as I can. Because no one wants to see that back corner. Now you're probably wondering, wow, you kind of put it there. Well, I know I did, but things change, things happen, you know. And there are pieces of slate and stuff under here, so it's kind of tricky to not hit the slate when planting. If you're planting plants, what you want to do is you want to get your plant that you're trying to plant, grab by just a little bit above the roots, just like that. Find the location where you want it, And you want to go in all the way, and then you want to give it a little bit of a wiggle. The wiggling is going to allow that sand to get on the roots and then keep that from moving. Just like that. I said this tank is going to be a heavily planted tank, so a lot of plants are going to be going in there. Now the plan is to actually get some monsteras for this tank as well. We're going to dip some monsteras in the back of it so they grow out and over. I kind of want some plants to kind of grow on the diagonal lines here on the corners of the tank itself. That is going to be awesome. I feel like at the end of the day, if you have a tank like this that has this many plants, you're going to get stuff floating around, and that's fine. I understand that. But when it's just dead plants floating around, definitely try and get them out. Because we have fish tanks to look at them and make them look nice. So, you want your tank to look decent, make sure you pick up all your dead stuff. Fun fact, I actually don't know if Java Fern likes to be planted or not. So, I'm going to pop this guy in this log right here. If it will let me. Slowly coming together. It looks a lot better. Now, I'm not very good at camera angles and where you guys should be when I'm doing this, and etc, etc. So, I do apologize. I'm still getting used to, you know, doing all of this stuff. So, I promise you I will work on my camera angle skills and make you guys happy. Now this is the other foreground plant that I bought. You do have to put these guys up towards the front of the glass because they don't grow that tall. There's a piece of slate right there. No. Now these do grow great in the water that I have here at the house, so I know these won't die, which is great. We are going to go ahead and put some more water in this tank just so I can get not as much current coming into the tank and going down. I've noticed when the tank is actually at a certain level, the filter really does like to, you know, throw itself and make a really crazy undercurrent. So I'm also going to go ahead and close every other valve to the fish room here. Now we are filling up, which is great. Temp feels fantastic. Good old microfiber cloth, clean this glass up. Something I always tell people when they ask what kind of things you have in your fish room, etc. Microfiber cloth is definitely at the top of the list. A, for cleaning your hands, and B, making the front of your glass look fantastic. Because you need a microfiber cloth. How are you supposed to look into a fish tank if it's got water drips on it and water stains and all that? You don't want that. You don't need it. We don't want it. We want it to be nice. Fantastic this is. Now that water was a little bit warm coming out there. That's what that's what all these little bubbles are. That's actually hot water entering cold water. Well, I wouldn't say entering cold water, but entering water that isn't the same temperature. There we go, and that is done. I turned the lights out so you guys can see, but we added a lot of greenery in this tank today, and it just looks great. It really does. I hope this plant that's growing out of this log really does end up growing out and over to kind of cover it. But we have our Java Fern up front. Then we have our new foreground plants at the bottom. We have our long ones. These will actually grow all the way up. They'll grow the length of the tank for sure. The original carpet was supposed to be like that little, these little tiny little plants right here on the I would say the roots, I would say. That was actually all on the bottom of the fish tank. It was supposed to be. And then they all died, but it looks like they're really enjoying their life on the wood. It does. It looks so good. And I'm so excited for that moss to start coming back and take over. Again, with the moss up here, you can see a little bit of greenery. It's definitely going to take a while for this tank to actually take off and get really green and kind of overgrow itself. Now, this tank has probably been sitting empty for about 3 months, I would say. I've been trying new plants, seeing what works in my water, see what grows the best. And the plants that are in there currently right now do work the best. They will start growing here pretty shortly, which is great. Java Fern does good in the tank, and I'll show you why. Because the arowana actually has a bunch in his tank. He has like his crazy anubis and all that. He does have his Java Fern. The Java Ferns look great. Like, they look fantastic. He's looking great. He hates the camera. He hates looking at himself. As you can see, he absolutely hates the camera. One day I really wish we could actually get a nice video of him kind of swimming around peacefully. But it's only when I bring the camera out he gets a bit crazy. So he's probably mad that I chased him around the tank and stuff. But I'm waiting for the negative comment. Oh, you stressed your fish out. You chased them around the tank. What happens when you try and catch your fish in a net? You chase it around the fish tank. So the amount of dirty shoe prints on the floor here from when I was standing doing this tank is unreal. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I got straight to the point. I'm very excited to release the next video, which is going to be the triple stacked 29. And you are in for a treat because we're going to be putting it in a different location. I was about to point to where we're putting it, but we're putting it in a different location. So super stoked. I can't wait to show you guys. Have a fantastic day. Remember, enjoy life.